Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Show me the money. More than 75% of fire union members voted on whether to support a deal struck with the city 3 weeks ago.
And only 35 members voted against it. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger spoke with the union's president about why Alamo City firefighters gave their stamp of approval.
All right.
The handshakes after a marathon bargaining session last month marked the first successful negotiations between the city and the San Antonio Professional Firefighters Association in 15 years.
A lot of people on our side said that it couldn't be done.
Now the rank and file of the fire union has given its own stamp of approval in a landslide election.
97% of people who cast a ballot approved this new contract. What does that tell you?
It tells me that firefighters really feel the economic impact of the last decade, and they're looking forward to wage increases.
Firefighters went years without a raise during an extended fight with the city last time around. And when the union demanded the talks go to binding arbitration, the deal that was handed down had less in it for firefighters than they'd hoped. As a result, inflation has grown about 3 times the rate of their pay in the past decade.
You know, there's been peaks and valleys in that history, and we were definitely in a valley.
But under the new deal, their pay would go up more than 21% over 3 years, with the raises boosted further by a plan to roll some incentive and allowance pay they already receive into their base pay. It's still not as much as firefighters had hoped for, but the vote shows they're okay with where things landed.
I think that our firefighters and paramedics understood that it's going to be a process. You know, we didn't arrive here overnight. We're not going to be 100% overnight.
Now that the union is signed off, the only thing left is for San Antonio City Council to say okay. They're scheduled to vote on Thursday. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Face to face, the families of Robb Elementary shooting victims and survivors packing a courtroom for former Uvalde School District Police Chief Pete Arredondo's first courtroom appearance. Arredondo whisked away after that hearing ended. He faces 10 counts of child abandonment or endangerment. His attorneys are asking the judge to throw out the charges. They claim Arredondo was not at fault. Jesse Rizzo, whose niece was killed in that shooting, described the moments leading up to the hearing.
Walking in was nerve-wracking. It was very emotional. The tensions were high. We locked eyes.
Arredondo and his co-defendant, former Uvalde School District Police Officer Adrian Gonzalez, have pleaded not guilty to the charges. They're expected to be back in court in December.
Bexar County commissioners are moving ahead with their $400,000 voter registration program after a judge denied Attorney General Ken Paxton's request to stop it. County DA Joe Gonzalez called Paxton's attempt to stop this effort voter intimidation. Bexar County officials say their contract with the company that mailed out voter registration forms last Tuesday was already complete when Paxton filed suit. But Paxton's office argued the county did not have legal authority to approve those forms being sent out. They claim the forms could get into the hands of ineligible voters. But because they were already sent out and recipients have opened them, the judge dismissed the claim.
So this contract has been on the table, so to speak. We did not get the restraining order until after the contract was signed. The county is free to continue to do what it needs to do to increase voter turnout.
Now, the county says if they receive a form filled out by someone who is not allowed to vote, the elections office will stop that person from registering and ultimately voting. We've also reached out to the AG's office for comment on this and have not heard back. Now, it is important to point out that this is not the end of the lawsuit filed against the county commissioners by the AG. This is just a temporary restraining order and injunction. The next steps will depend on the Attorney General's office. Now, if you want to register to vote in the November election, you have until October 7th to do that. If you need help or want to learn more about the registration process, we can help. Scan the QR code right here on your screen to learn more about how to register.
All right, so the calendar says fall is not that far away, but weather has its own ideas, Adam.
Yeah, we all know the weather patterns don't necessarily follow the calendar, and that's going to be the case with the autumnal equinox coming up this weekend. It's still going to feel a little more summer-like than anything. Looking at authority radar, we have some outflow boundaries out there, not really kicking up anything new, but we have had some showers over the past few hours in parts of our area, mostly farther to the west from Del Rio down to Eagle Pass. And Eagle Pass actually within the city getting hit by some of those downpours stretching over toward Carrizo Springs. And you look at the radar estimates, they're on the order of about an inch in some of the rural parts of Maverick County, and even Uvalde County about 7/10 of an inch. This is isolated, quick splash and dash activity, not much really to show for it. And from earlier today, parts of Lavaca County getting in on some of that activity. By and large, our forecast is looking very dry and even some record challenging warmth, and we'll get into that in a moment.
All right, thank you, Adam. Let's take a look at the traffic cameras around town, and we've actually got some good news when it comes to traffic. This is the busiest camera view that we have seen. I-10 at Probant, you can see it's slow going a little bit here and there, but not too terribly backed up. So that's some good news during this 6 o'clock commute.
Got some breaking news I want to get to right now. Agents with the Texas Department of Public Safety looking for a suspect who they say drove toward them during a pursuit. We're told a DPS trooper fired shots towards that suspect.
Yeah, this all began around 10:30 this morning near I-10 and Wurzbach. DPS says it tried to stop a vehicle that had stolen plates on it. We're told the driver of that vehicle drove toward the officers, causing one of them to then fire their weapon.
The vehicle did get away. Right now, it's not known if the suspect was hit by gunfire. We're also told the suspect was in a red pickup truck. We're going to stay on top of this story as it continues to unfold. He apparently never had the former president in his line of sight and never fired around. We're starting to learn more about the man accused in the latest assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. 58-year-old Ryan Routh facing charges related to having a gun and hiding out in the former president's vicinity Sunday afternoon at Trump's West Palm Beach golf course. The Associated Press reports Routh wrote a book last year urging the country of Iran to kill the former president. He also once visited Ukraine in an attempt to recruit fighters for Kyiv and has a history of shifting political ideologies, voting for Trump once before, then siding against him. He's facing federal gun crime charges in yesterday's shooting, and more charges could be on the table if prosecutors seek an indictment from a grand jury.
Governor Greg Abbott says Texas is putting a target on a Venezuelan gang that he says is notorious for violence and murders in Texas. Abbott signed a proclamation this afternoon that designates Tren de Aragua a foreign terrorist organization. And Abbott signaled out El Paso as a hotbed for this gang, citing the arrest of 20 suspected Venezuelan gang members at a hotel there. El Paso County officials denied the hotel was ever taken over by those suspects and that the arrests were not prompted by the presence of a gang. The proclamation allows the state to use courts to halt gang operations, seize property, and use enhanced punishments for convicted criminals.
A tunnel of flame towered over suburban Houston this morning after a gas pipe exploded. First responders in Deer Park had to evacuate surrounding neighborhoods where some homes actually caught on fire. This video just a glimpse of what some of the eyewitness accounts were when that plume of fire erupted just before 10 this morning. That pipe that exploded operated by Dallas-based company Energy Transfer. They say the pipe has been shut down, but it will be hours before residual natural gas is out of the line. We still don't know what triggered the explosion. As for injuries, we only know of one, a minor injury to a firefighter that responded to this blaze. Lee High School head football coach Wendell Harris denies accusations that he made sexually inappropriate comments to a female athletic trainer. That trainer telling KSAT investigates she resigned her position this summer after it became clear the district would not protect her.
How is it that his word is better off than mine?
This former athletic trainer at Legacy of Educational Excellence, Lee High School, asked that we conceal her identity. Earlier this year, she came forward to Northeast Independent School District Administration with claims that head football coach and athletic coordinator Wendell Harris had repeatedly sexually harassed her in the workplace. The first incident was last September in the school's training room. The woman, another trainer, and a coach had a conversation about someone the woman had previously dated.
Not even 2 minutes later, Coach Harris walked in and looks me up and down and says, "I heard you're for the streets. I have tricks too."
She said Harris's intent was clear.
That he was calling me a hoe.
A month and a half later, in mid-October, the trainer rushed onto the practice field to tend to an injured player. When she and the other trainer went to brief Harris on the incident, she says the coach directed another inappropriate remark at her.
Coach Harris made a comment that it was like an episode of Baywatch this morning and did the gesture of my boobs bouncing as I was running out to the field.
The other trainer had again witnessed the encounter.
Once she realized what was said, she understood why I was uncomfortable.
Tuesday on the Night Beat, what happened when the woman formally complained to administration? Coach Harris's response to her claims and what a district investigation found. Tuesday night on the Night Beat.
Sepsis from infection can be caused by major surgery or trauma, but did you know it could also come from smaller injuries? A local mom who almost died wants you to know what to look for before it's too late.
Plus, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, and to kick off our celebration, we're going to dive into a dish that's so good you can apparently eat it any time of the day. The story of the pupusa coming up later in the show. And before we head to break, we want to remind you Doc Talk happening tomorrow. This week, we're focusing on kids' health. Here's how you can get your questions to us. Scan the QR code, type a medical question, any health question you'd like a doctor concerning your child to answer. A doctor will be here at KSAT to answer it. Doc Talk will air Thursday on the news at 6:30.
People who live in Kirby are growing frustrated with this water leak that they say has been going on for 2 weeks, but those frustrations have quickly turned to concern now that they believe it's coming from this fire hydrant and could be affecting water pressure. On the Night Beat, we speak with city officials and see what they're doing about it.
Metro Health and HEB are teaming up to help San Antonians struggling with the high cost of insulin. The Diabetes Insulin Assistance Program was created to help patients manage their disease in an affordable way and raise awareness about free self-management workshops that are offered by Metro Health. The program will cover up to $100 per insulin prescription for people in need, and that includes refills. San Antonio and Bexar County residents are eligible regardless of insurance status as well. Free delivery is also available for some participants. To learn more or enroll in the program, go to sa.gov/health.
When you hear the word sepsis, a response to infection, you might think of major surgery or trauma. But a local mother is proof that it can stem from the smallest of sources.
During Sepsis Awareness Month, she tells our Courtney Friedman she doesn't want to scare anyone, but she does want to make sure that people know the symptoms so they don't wait as long as she did to get some help.
Sepsis isn't something that we talk about a lot.
But for someone who almost lost her life, mom and University Hospital nurse educator Ashley Britch feels like she has to. It started at a family trip to the river in 2019.
I fell, cut my leg, or it was my knee. Didn't even think anything of it because it was just such a small cut.
She woke up the next day feeling flu-like symptoms and leg pain, but later that day was violently ill.
My husband was like, "We are going to the emergency room." And I couldn't even really respond back to him. I was nonsensical.
By the time she got to the hospital, her organs were shutting down.
They were looking for other sources of infection, thinking it was something else, that this little cut couldn't possibly be what's causing this 28-year-old person to be dying. Sure enough, it was just spreading and spreading. It was strep A, toxic shock syndrome.
With infection to the bone, she was in the hospital for a long time.
And so what they ended up doing was they took muscle from my calf and they were able to rotate it over. And then they took skin from up here, did a skin graft.
Every day, symbols of how lucky she is.
Not everyone survives this. No, I think they said one in 3 people usually don't make it through a specific strep A toxic shock syndrome.
So knowing the symptoms are crucial. High fever with chills and sweating, fast heart rate and difficulty breathing, bad pain in a specific area, and most severe altered mental status like confusion or disorientation.
That's a bad sign when you have an infection. I would just come to the emergency room immediately.
Dr. Christopher Dayton works in University Hospital's ICU, seeing the most serious cases, but sees sepsis multiple times every day.
Across our city and across the country, at better recognizing it, and we have ways of alerting us as providers.
And educating the community.
You never know. You don't want to wait till it's too late.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
So things like pneumonia, even urinary tract infections, that can cause something that leads to sepsis as well.
Yeah, and that's why Dr. Dayton says getting certain vaccines can prevent the illness in the first place.
It's a crazy story. She is very lucky.
A little cut.
Yeah.
Led to all that.
Wild.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the weather now and those temperatures that are they're higher than I would like.
Yeah,
She's being very diplomatic about this whole thing. Do you notice that? Very Myra-esque.
Yes.
Right?
Very. She's kind of given the weather report the side eye right now. You know, the famous Myra side eye.
She is. You're right.
Come on
It's always what the face is saying. You got to pay attention to it.
All right, let's take a look at tomorrow, for example. We have record challenging warmth. 98 is the record tomorrow. We are predicting a high of 97. So obviously within the realm of possibility that we'll have a record high. 76 degrees in the morning tomorrow, 90 at noon, 97 the high. A lot of sunshine. Of course, temperatures above average for this time of year. The average high is 90 degrees here in town. And we'll be around 97 throughout Bexar County. Helota's closer to 94 along with Bernie, Sabinal 96, and Pleasanton Poteet 97. Now look at the rest of this work week, mid-90s. But when you factor in the humidity, it's going to feel like we're around to slightly above 100 for a few hours each afternoon. Feeling a little more August-like than September-like. But hey, we're not talking triple digits. Today, 97 was our high temperature, and that's just a few degrees shy of the record of 99 set back in 1954. And there's that average high of 90, which we're going to be above for the foreseeable future. Notice temperatures were actually a little bit lower off to the west, where we had the clouds and showers. Eagle Pass made it up to 90 degrees before some shower activity set in recently. Del Rio topped out at 91. Usually I point out that typically warmer locations along the Rio Grande, it's the opposite today. We're warmer here around town because they've had some clouds and showers. Now we do have a big ridge in our upper level flow. And this is a big blue wave starting to influence us. And notice how the high temperatures stretch, 90 degrees, stretch all the way up into Dakotas and Minnesota. So this ridge, this bump in the upper level flow is pulling that heat northward. Meanwhile, actually below average temperatures in the western U.S. because of that trough. But bottom line is this ridge is going to stay in place and be the primary influence of our weather going forward now. And it doesn't show any signs of breaking for at least a week or so. Then we have to talk about the tropics a little bit. We have potential tropical cyclone 8. I don't like the name of it either. They're always potential. But anyway, this is a good example of how you don't need a named storm, just a lot of tropical moisture to cause heavy rainfall. I mean, we've seen over a foot of rain in parts of southern North Carolina. We'll get into more specifics at 6:45. Anyway, that shower activity is moving inland. This little depression weak system is going to move westward and basically dissipate. Rainfall potential over the next 7 days. Not much for Texas, unfortunately. We could use the rain, but it's that tropical moisture in the Carolinas that's really bringing the moisture there. Around here, we have the autumnal equinox Sunday at 7:44 a.m. But again, feeling more like our typical August weather out there. And with our live cam, you will notice some of the clouds have been bubbling up throughout the day. Not so much in this picture, but go outside, you may see that. And those are some of those isolated downpours that we had, quick splash and dash, but nothing locally in the outskirts of our areas where it was.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
All right. Texas with the big win over UTSA this weekend, but it's something they lost that could put Sark on the hot seat. He's got a decision to make.
He does, and Sark's got probably a good problem right now. I mean, Quinn Ewers, we all know, is a great quarterback. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but Arch Manning definitely filled in pretty admirably against UTSA. So what's going on with the Arch Manning mania? Is Sark having to talk to his quarterbacks about it? And in the NFL, Dak Prescott is pointing fingers at outsiders. Coming up. Number one, Texas will be led by freshman quarterback Arch Manning for the foreseeable future, while Quinn Ewers recovers from a strained abdomen that he suffered Saturday in the second quarter of the Horns' 56-7 win against UTSA. Arch came on in relief, and he had 5 touchdown performance, 4 in the air and the other on the ground, only elevating the Arch Manning hype. Today, head coach Steve Sarkisian was asked how does he handle this, and does he talk to Arch or Quinn about the buzz surrounding the backup Manning?
I don't do anything. Arch is just another guy on our team. And the reason I'm able to do that is because that's who Arch is every day. Arch he's a selfless teammate. You know, he cares about the guys on the team. He cares about Quinn. They've got a great relationship. He works his tail off. He wants to play good football for them because he knows how hard everybody's working. So I literally don't address it with him. I don't address it with the team. He's just part of the team, you know, and I think that's been the approach. If you even go back to the recruiting process, it was never about the name. It was about the player and the ability and the parents and so on and so forth. And so that's made it actually pretty easy that we don't have to address it.
And today, Manning was named the Southeastern Conference's co-freshman of the week. Texas will host ULM Saturday night at 7. The Saints hammered the Cowboys 44-19 Sunday afternoon, snapping the boys' 16-game home winning streak. New Orleans dominated from start to finish, scoring touchdowns on each of their first 6 drives. That put them up 41-19 late in the third quarter. After hammering the Browns in Week 1, 33-17, Dak Prescott blamed the outside noise for putting the boys on a pedestal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. I talk about each and every week. No games are played on paper. As far as riding a high, I know I wasn't personally. I don't think the guys in the locker room necessarily were. I mean, I talked about how much meat we left on the bone offensively. And that's simply why you can't listen to other people's opinions and read what you guys write respectfully. I mean, yeah, you know, y'all may have put this team on a high more than we should have been, and now we just simply have got to reset. We've got to respond. We're not going undefeated. You know, I mean, hadn't been done in 50 years. Woo, surprise. So it's about getting back to it and finding a way to respond to put the best team on the field next week.
The 1-1 Cowboys will host the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens Sunday at 3:25 p.m. Now, the Houston Texans won a hard-fought game with the Bears 19-13 on Sunday Night Football. The Texans scored 1 touchdown when C.J. Stroud found Nico Collins for a 28-yard score, and the rest of their points came via 4 field goals. Defensively, the Texans sacked Bears rookie QB Caleb Williams 7 times, and they hit him 11 times. Texans head coach DeMeco Ryans was pleased with the pressure they put on Williams.
Well, it starts up front with our defensive line, like Will, Daniil, Mario, all the guys. The way they were rushing, like together, and the way we were covering in the back end, that really set things apart for us. So, you know, credit to Sting and Kamari for the way they cover, allowing those guys to get the pressure. You don't get pressure unless the coverage is tight. So those guys cover well. That allowed the rush to get there.
All right, the 2-0 Texans will next play at the 2-0 Vikings Sunday at noon.
Another tough game.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back. Homecoming season is just around the corner, and you could help us with an upcoming KSAT Explains. It's all about mums, where they came from, how they became such a thing in Texas. We want to see your mums. Scan this QR code to go to the KSAT Connect website. Upload your pic of a homecoming mom. Could be this year, could be last year's. Put that in the sports channel under the high school football category, and we could use it in KSAT Explains.
And if you have a QR-shaped mom, that would be even crazier.
Very 2024.
Very 2024. All right. Apparently, you can eat them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, even a snack. They are called pupusas. And once you give this Salvadorian dish a try, many people believe you'll never forget it.
The U.S. Census Bureau American Community Survey says that in 2017, about 1.6% of immigrants in San Antonio were from El Salvador. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, Patty Santos is sharing the story of a family that is spreading their culture through food.
Todo se hace con amor, todo lo va a hallar fácil.
Good food is made with love. That's the philosophy of Francisca Alvarez.
Y aquí tiene ya todas las pupusas.
On the grill are the first pupusas for the day.
The name of our restaurant is El Buen Paladar.
Way in the west side of Potranco, Alvarez and her family are working to make a living and introducing people to a new type of food to San Antonio.
We're most famous for our Salvadorian pupusas. We also have Nicaraguense dishes and Salvadorian dishes. And we also have a couple Honduran dishes as well.
Her son-in-law, William Salinas, and daughter, Jessica Salinas, run the restaurant. But it all started here in this food truck.
They originally started their food truck in about 2007.
Felina says the hardest part was getting San Antonians to try their food.
You can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can have it as a late night snack. They're good all day. People absolutely love them.
On an average day, she'll make about 100 to 200 pupusas. She says it's easy, but it takes practice. Trust me, I've tried.
Notice the way she handles the masa right there. And she has this technique that just makes it turn.
There's really an art to it. It took me a while and even her, being from there, it takes a lot of practice to get there.
There's an entire menu of Central American dishes the restaurant makes too, from desserts made with plantain to steak and enchiladas, with a unique Central American flavor.
Those look delicious. Why didn't Patty bring us back some?
Yeah.
I heard Caskey say he'd take 5.
Probably.
Francisca left her country in the late 80s and has an incredible story of personal struggle to get to where you see her today.
Yeah, her daughter and son-in-law hope to be able to pass on the recipes and restaurants to their kids. Yes, we need a pack of pupusas. Pronto.
From Patty.
From Patty.
There's all kinds of ways to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. It just kicked off, so there is an entire month of events and festivals happening between now and October 15th. For a full list of when and where you can attend those celebrations, scan this QR code that you see right here on your screen.
We're on to America now. Amazon demanding its corporate employees return to the office 5 days a week. It's a significant change from its current pandemic-era hybrid policy, requiring them to be in the office just 3 days a week. CEO Andy Jassy says the change will help its thousands of employees invent, collaborate, and be connected to each other and their culture. This new policy goes into effect on January 2nd. Last year, Amazon faced some employee resistance when the current 3-day per week policy was implemented. TikTok taking on the U.S. government in court today as the Justice Department fights to potentially have the app banned, calling it a national security threat. But the social media giant says a proposed ban on that app is unconstitutional. ABC's Rena Roy with more details.
The Justice Department and one of the most popular social media apps in the world going head-to-head in Washington today. The high-stakes hearing comes less than 5 months after President Biden signed a bipartisan bill into law, giving TikTok and its Chinese parent company ByteDance an ultimatum: sell the app to a non-Chinese owner by January or be banned. TikTok filed a lawsuit, both sides appearing before a panel of judges at the D.C. Federal Appeals Court to make their cases. The Justice Department calling TikTok a national security threat because the company has access to Americans' personal data and the ability to potentially manipulate content on the app. TikTok has repeatedly said it does not share U.S. user data with the Chinese government and that concerns the government has raised have never been substantiated. The company's lawyers arguing that the law that could ban the app is unconstitutional and violates Americans' right to free speech.
There was a little bit of skepticism from the judges because the fact is this was passed by Congress, and the judge said, why is TikTok questioning this thing that was passed with such bipartisan support by Congress?
Despite government concerns, both the Donald Trump and Kamala Harris campaigns using the social media platform to appeal to voters.
Hey, Kamala, what are we going to say to Donald Trump in November?
Bye, bye, bye.
Both campaigns trying to reach a younger demographic.
The president is now on TikTok. It's my honor.
Both TikTok and the DOJ are asking for a ruling by early December so that the Supreme Court could potentially consider any appeal before January 19th when the ban would take effect. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
A star-studded night in Hollywood saw so many shows go home with some big-time awards. We have an Emmy recap. It's next on the news at 6.
It was an eventful Sunday night for so many actors, writers, directors in Hollywood. The 76th Emmy Awards saw several shows go home with multiple awards.
And there were some also notable firsts as well. ABC's George Pinocchio recaps the night from Los Angeles.
Shogun.
Shogun started Emmy night with 14 wins, all from last week's Creative Arts Emmys. The drama series added 4 more for a total of 18 trophies from a staggering 25 nominations, the most of any show this year. The series stars and new Emmy winners Anna Sawai and Hiroyuki Sanada were proud to represent their show.
I still feel like I'm trying to process what happened. I think in any moment I can cry, so I won't do that, but it's really unbelievable. I think I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll think this was all a dream.
Another drama that won big, Baby Reindeer, with Richard Gadd taking home trophies for acting, writing, and producing this year's outstanding limited series or anthology.
I kind of just feel a bit overwhelmed right now. I wasn't expecting this. I'm just so glad that the show's touched the lives of so many people, and the Academy have acknowledged it in this way. It's the greatest night of my life.
But there are so many categories at the Emmys, including the comedy shows that make us laugh. Hack snagged the win for Outstanding Comedy Series, and Jean Smart won her 3rd Emmy in a row for Lead Actress in a Comedy Series and 6th overall for her portrayal of stand-up comedian Deborah Vance.
I think I've been fortunate in a sense that my career has been a very gradual kind of climb. I wouldn't have minded if it was a little faster, but it's better than starting here and going down, 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 down. So I'm very grateful.
The Bears' Jeremy Allen White took home his 2nd Emmy in a row for lead actor in a comedy series. His co-stars, Evan Moss-Backrack and Liza Colon-Zayas, also won trophies for their supporting roles.
Everybody does such beautiful work on this show, and yeah, to see them recognized, it makes me so happy and so proud.
With 11 Emmy wins Sunday night, The Bear also broke its own record by 1 for most wins for a comedy series in a single year, with 11. In Los Angeles, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
Okay,
boy, oh boy.
But The Bear is a comedy.
Yeah, right?
I've got to tell you.
Come on.
Come on.
Eugene Levy and his son doing the hosting last night, they were pretty funny.
Yeah, they were.
Well, they
did say in the spirit of the Bear, we're not saying it's a comedy or not, but in the spirit of the Bear, we won't be telling any jokes.
They poked the bear a little.
Yeah, they did. They poked the bear.
Look, I love the first few seasons of that show. Fantastic, great work, but comedy?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, I want to talk about this full supermoon coming tomorrow. Okay, supermoon really doesn't mean anything to the naked eye. It's just a technical scientific term. If you have the right equipment, you'll notice it's a slightly bigger. Also, a very partial lunar eclipse at 9:44 p.m. tomorrow. It's not going to turn the moon red. Full article, KSAT.com. See you in a few minutes.
A storm with no name doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Extreme wind and rain from a disturbance in the Atlantic blanketing parts of the Carolina coast with flooding and other damage.
The National Hurricane Center says the system wasn't given an official name because it didn't organize enough to become one. This is video from Carolina Beach, North Carolina, a low-lying community where flooding is prevalent there when storms roll through.
Is it too soon to say we could use some more rain, Adam?
Yeah, it can be too much of a good thing. We've seen that in this low-lying community that you see there, too much of a good thing. But the main point is these storms, they don't need names to have an impact. And sometimes even when they have a name, they don't have much of an impact. So it's all about looking at the impact of a system and what does it mean to you and the area. Let's take a look at some of the rainfall totals. These are radar estimates, 21.9 inches just south of Wilmington. That is astronomical when it comes to rainfall, and that's in that low-lying area. This is the weak system, weak in terms of winds and by tropical parameters, by definition, max winds of 35 miles per hour. It's weak that, but of course, dumping a lot of rain for several days. It's impactful still, and will continue to do so as it moves inland right along the North and South Carolina border, the state line there, and that's going to push some of that moisture inland, but they could still get another 4 inches of rain in parts of North Carolina, especially closer to Charlotte and right along the state line there. Anyway, this will start to let up for those Carolina beaches in southern North Carolina there. We are just on the tail end of the peak of hurricane season. It's September 10th is the peak of hurricane season in the Atlantic. So we're 6 days past it, but still at that time of year where we see a decent amount of activity. And out there right now, not a lot to speak of. We still have Gordon, tropical storm, but notice how elsewhere there really isn't much that's developing. This is now tropical depression, Gordon, I should say. It's weakened, but likely to briefly re-strengthen into a tropical storm as it pushes northward. So that's not a system of any concern to any land right now, just for shipping channels out there in the Atlantic. Tomorrow, let's talk about the unseasonably warm temperatures. 97 is what we're expecting tomorrow. That's record challenging considering the record high set back in 1997 is 98. So it's within the realm of possibility that we do tie or even break that record tomorrow. But we're forecasting 1 degree below the record, 76 in the morning at sunrise at the bus stop, 90 at noon, then 97 for the high temperature. And when you look ahead for the rest of this week, very similar conditions. And we're from 95 to 97 for high temperatures. But here's the key. When you factor in the humidity, for a little bit each afternoon, it's going to feel like we're at to slightly above 100 degrees. As for rain around here, not much to speak of. We have 2 little showers that just popped up near Fair Oaks Ranch and on the south end of Bernie there along I-10, Geneva School. And this is going to be very, very brief, but it is right along the interstate. So obviously a quick little surprise for some folks on I-10 there on the south side of Bernie. Most of the rain today has been closer to the Rio Grande and even parts of rural Maverick County, upwards of 1 inch estimated by Doppler radar. Big ridge over Texas and in the upper level flow. This ridge is going to be dominating our weather for the days ahead. In turn, we're looking at above average temperatures, mornings in the 70s, afternoons in the 90s. The fall equinox is on Sunday, but it's not going to feel like fall.
It's not going to do anything for us. Thanks, Adam.
All right, pandas, bears, and Mercury in the buzz coming up. To the buzz and take a look at the closest ever flyby of our solar system's least explored rocky planet. This amazing close-up that you see right here, it's a time-lapse tour of Mercury. It comes courtesy of the European Space Agency's intrepid Bepi Colombo spacecraft.
It's fun to say.
Yeah.
It is the 3rd craft ever to visit the solar system's smallest planet and the first to get this close. The planetary pass-by is relived through 3 separate camera angles, one of which captured a stunning view of the planet's signature Uvalde ring crater formation.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, for Mercury, the giant pandas. These giant panda cubs celebrating a small milestone. Not so giant right now. They just turned 1 month old over the weekend, and researchers at the Hong Kong Ocean Park say they're growing and as healthy as ever.
Mama bear Ying Ying, she's doing fine too. The 19-year-old giant panda made history when she became the world's oldest captive giant panda to give birth to a girl and boy cub.
Love it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, it was quite a sight for California beachgoers. You might have seen this video on social media this weekend. A bear taking a casual stroll in the crowded South Tahoe surf.
Yeah, eyewitnesses say the burly visitor seemed unconcerned by the scores of slack-jawed gawkers. He's just hanging out. He even took a cool dip in the water a little further down the beach. I mean, it is kind of his area first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
It's Cali, dude.
Before we go, we want to remind you this year's Head for the Cure 5K is right around the corner. It's September 28th at Providence Catholic School, less than 2 weeks. You can register right now by scanning the QR code there on your screen. That will take you directly to the website to register. Proceeds from Head for the Cure go to brain cancer research. For more information, go to ksatcommunity.com.
Adam.
So you may have heard the chatter about this full supermoon. I mean, we have a lot of supermoons. That's a technicality, just a scientific technicality. It never means you're going to notice anything different, bigger or brighter in size to the naked eye. But anyway, it is going to be a full moon tomorrow at 9:34 p.m. and even a partial lunar eclipse, not the type that turns the moon red. There's just going to be a little sliver of the moon where the Earth is casting a shadow around 9:44. And again, supermoon, yeah, brighter and larger, technically speaking, but you're not going to notice anything different than a normal full moon.
Will the little sliver be red?
Can we? No. And can we just put this whole super moon just to bed? I mean,
I'm really
you're
just
not going to
asking
notice
questions.
it.
I'm really just asking questions because it aggravates you.
Yeah.